What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new transfer news and Liverpool news video where we will talk about Piero Hincapie, the 21-year-old brilliant centre-back who is on the short list of Liverpool transfer targets, and his agent confirmed that they are in talks with Liverpool FC over a potential move in the January transfer window. He would be available for around 35 to 40 million pounds. Do you think Liverpool should sign a centre-back in the January transfer window? I see a similar scenario where we signed Luis Diaz and then sold Sadio Mane, we signed Darwin Núñez and then let Bobby Firmino leave, and so on and so forth. We signed Cody Gakpo and then let Bobby Firmino leave as well. So yeah, there are already precedents of Liverpool trying to bed in players early, and Matip is going to leave next summer on a free transfer, and Liverpool are set to be in talks over Bayer Leverkusen Piero Hincapie according to the player's agent. So do you think Liverpool should sign Hincapie? Do you think he's worth 35 to 40 million pounds? Hincapie is absolutely flying with Leverkusen. They are one of the best teams in the Bundesliga, and they are smashing it in the Europa League as well. And Liverpool were linked with quite a few centre-backs in the summer transfer window. The biggest links were to Levi Colwill, who ended up staying at Chelsea because of his huge price tag, and also because of Chelsea having so many injuries in defensive department that Colwill was basically guaranteed game time at Chelsea. Mickey van der Ven, in the end he went to Tottenham for around 40 million pounds, and even though he scored the winner against Luton, I still think that he's a little bit overpriced, and throughout the course of the season we will see how good Mickey van der Ven is really in the Premier League, because yes, he's a talent, but at 40 million pounds Liverpool weren't sure whether he's good value for money, and in the end we needed midfielders more than signing a centre-back, and how Liverpool started off the season is testament to that, because we completely overhauled and rebuilt the midfield, and the defence is pretty solid, pretty good, even though we conceded 2 goals to Brighton. Overall I think Liverpool have been really good defensively. If we weren't cheated out of the Tottenham victory, we would be top of the Premier League. So guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to leave a like, and you can further support me and my work on Patreon. Link is in the video description. These videos make $5-6 per video, so please support my work on Patreon and you get great benefits along the way as well. So it was reported in August that Liverpool were keeping tabs on Hincapie. Left-sided centre-backs were the priority, and Manuel Sierra, who is the agent of Hincapie, has claimed that Liverpool are among the clubs talking about a potential deal, and he suggested that the price tag will be set in stone. Liverpool were interested in Hincapie, but at that time they chose to invest in the midfield. Sierra told a YouTube channel, Football Sin Cassette, and for January they are talking like other clubs. It will not be less than 50 million euros, which is around 43 million pounds. But I think Liverpool are better off to sign a defensive midfielder like Andre in the January transfer window, and we can go for a centre-back next summer when Matip eventually leaves. Right now Liverpool have a lot of centre-back options: Gomez, Matip, Konate and Van Dijk, and I think those options are enough until the end of the season. And I think there will be a lot of clubs interested in Hincapie. That's why the agent is confident of quoting that price tag, because Hincapie is one of the best up-and-coming young centre-backs on the market at the moment. But it's good to hear that Liverpool are still monitoring Hincapie and they are interested in the services of him, and I think sooner or later we have to sign a replacement for Matip, and the left side centre-back who is 21 years old would be brilliant. And what is surprising is that last season Hincapie was a regular starter for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, playing 43 games. This season, however, because he was suspended in the first 3 games because of a red card that he got at the end of last season in Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen started off the season on fire. They beat Leipzig 3-2, they beat Gladbach 3-0 and Darmstadt 5-1. Hincapie couldn't really get into the team. He played a few minutes against Bayern and another few minutes against Heidenheim. He was an unused substitute against Mainz, and then against Köln he came on for just 19 minutes. And Xabi Alonso has found a really good defensive setup, so that's why he's maybe not playing Hincapie as much. But Bayer Leverkusen starting with 6 wins and 1 draw in 7 games is absolutely remarkable, and also they have a brilliant goal difference. But Hincapie started the game against Molde, which was the recent game in the Europa League. He played the full 90 minutes, Leverkusen won 2-1. And you can see Hincapie in action for Ecuador because they are playing the World Cup qualifiers in South America, and also Luis Diaz will play against Darwin Núñez, who got a new nickname La Pantera, which means like the Puma or something, the Panther, sorry, not the Puma, the Panther or something. And in South American, I think it was the Uruguay national team's social media guys who came up with that nickname, and I really love that nickname, La Pantera. So Darwin Núñez has a new nickname, if you haven't known already. And so Hincapie played 27 times for the Ecuador national team. Considering he's only 21 years old, he could actually become one of their all-time most played players, and really interesting. And Ecuador had a brilliant qualification campaign last season where they got to the World Cup. Eventually they couldn't get out of the group, but Hincapie is a big talent, so I think I will be watching the highlights of the Ecuador games very keenly. But apparently some newspapers are reporting that Liverpool's main priority is still to sign a traditional number 6, a player who can eventually succeed Fabinho, because we still have a hole in our squad, in my opinion. Endo isn't as good going forward as McAllister, and defensively, of course, he's not as good as Fabinho. So Jurgen Klopp isn't playing him regularly in the Premier League, which means that I think it doesn't rate him defensively as much, or his all-round game isn't as good as it is required to be a regular starter for Liverpool, which means that Liverpool is still looking for that defensive midfielder signing that we might do in the January transfer window, and Andre is still on our radar. Fluminense said that we can come back in the January transfer window and sign Andre for a pretty low price of just like 15 to 20 million pounds. But last Friday, Football Insider revealed that Liverpool and Man United are also keen on Sporting defender Gonçalo Inácio. Sporting know that he's a huge talent. He recently scored 2 goals in Portugal's dropping of Luxembourg, where Jota got a few goals as well. So Inácio will probably move to a bigger club in the January or next summer transfer window. So Liverpool are on the hunt for a new centre-back. But as I said, the more likely scenario is we sign Andre in January and we sign either Hincapie or Inácio next summer. And if Liverpool had more money to spend in the summer transfer window, I think we would have signed Inácio, because we were really interested in him until in the beginning of August he signed a new contract which increased his release clause from 40 million euros to 60 million euros. And at that time Liverpool were still hunting the midfielders. We still were yet to sign Gravenberch. We were in the middle of the bidding war for Lavia, and then later of course Moises Caicedo as well. So Liverpool were putting more attention on rebuilding their midfield, and rightfully so, because we lost like 5 midfielders through players leaving, contracts expiring, Carvalho going out on loan as well. So Liverpool were really looking for midfielders at the time, and that's why we probably put the centre-back project on the back burner. And I think it's a sound strategy because, as I said, the midfield badly needed rebuilding and reinforcing, and we I think nailed the midfield rebuild. And this, considering that this whole team is still in its new phase, a new era, Jurgen Klopp called it Liverpool 2.0, and we are still ironing out the different roles for the different new players in the Liverpool team. Not Szoboszlai, because he's just absolutely nailed on best midfielder signing in many years for Liverpool, and his value already reportedly went from 50 to 70 million pounds on Transfermarkt, and other websites are reporting this. But what's more important is that we find a role for Gravenberch, and I think Endo was signed to play the James Milner role, or what Jordan Henderson was supposed to be, a bit part player, and Liverpool weren't signing Endo to be a regular, like, starting defensive midfielder. But did we sign Gravenberch to be that? Because Gravenberch is not that type of player. So what was Jurgen Klopp's plan? What was Jurgen Klopp's idea? To play McAllister all season long as a holding midfielder? I don't think that will work, especially against very aggressive, very fast teams like Brighton. Even though McAllister had a good performance overall, I think Liverpool still need a defensive midfielder. Maybe we'll just get by until January and then sign Andre for that position, because he would be perfect for that defensive midfield role. And according to some news articles and some journalists, it is believed that the priority for Liverpool in the winter transfer window is to try for Andre Trindade, the Fluminense midfielder, for whom a 26 million pound summer offer was rejected, which was 30 million euros, but another bid is expected in January by Liverpool, and we might even get him for less than 30 million euros. Of course, Fluminense refused to sell because they are still involved in the Copa Libertadores, and they feel that their decision was justified because Andre helped Fluminense reach a historic final in the Copa Libertadores. I think they will play against Boca Juniors on November the 4th. So I'm really looking forward to that game, and hopefully I can watch that on TV. Andre stood out for his composure on the ball, achieving a remarkable passing success rate of 93.8%. Sorry, not 98, but 93.8%, which is incredibly high over the last 12 months. And outside of European leagues, that it means Andre is in the top 1% for passing among all the players, all the midfielders, which is absolutely crazy. The Brazilian would give Liverpool another natural defensive midfield option, and he could potentially free up McAllister to play further forward, which is his best position. This defensive holding midfielder, holding playmaker role is not McAllister's best position. So that's why I think it is even more important to sign a defensive midfielder first in the January transfer window. And yes, if we have money left over, and if either Hincapie or Inacio are available, then I'm all for Liverpool signing a centre-back as well, because the earlier you get them in, the earlier you can bet them in to the team. And then next summer when Matip leaves, a centre-back wouldn't be required if we sign one in the January transfer window. But as I said, I think Liverpool's strategy will be to sign Andre in January and then go from there and see where we finish at the end of the season. So let's see what happens with Liverpool over the course of the next few weeks. Let me know what you think of Liverpool's transfer strategy. What should it be for the January transfer window? Leave your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.